Hi, my name's Jim Brown. I'm a member of Goldfield Solar and we're the installation crew working on behalf of Breaze for their current solar project. We're at an installation and we're just going to run through the basics of what we do. So what you can expect when we roll up at your house is firstly you'll get to meet my dogs, Bob and Mona. After the formalities are over, we'll start the installation. The boys who are doing the roof work will turn up first and they'll do that part of the installation. They will put the panels on and they will leave a short length of cable coming out of the solar panels.
2 rails and there's 7 panels. These are 145 watt panels. So there's 7 of them to make up a kilowatt.
Just screwing these onto the roof and the rail sits there and the panels go on top of that.
We need a position on the roof that's free from any shading and any obstacles and any trees so that we get good early morning sun and good late afternoon sun, and that increases the efficiency. So that's a pretty big priority.
Right, so the aerial's up there. The panels we're going to try and get from this edge right through as high as we can, and that way we shouldn't get affected by the shading too much.
In a situation where you have no sunshine, then the power in your house is being supplied from the grid, and the inverter will kick in when the sun gets to a certain level, and we've found that the inverter's still putting in power when the sun's quite low. We've had fairly good results on cloudy days where there's very little sunshine and we're still getting power put out from the inverter. We'll mount the inverter, preferably as close as we can to the switchboard location. Then we connect the wires between the solar panels and the inverter and then run the inverter into the switchboard. We have a couple of isolation switches which will go next to the inverter, and the cable will come from the solar panels down through the isolation switch into the inverter, out of the inverter and then into the switchboard, and there will be a switch in there to isolate your inverter supply from the domestic incoming supply. This is the supply coming in from our solar panels. We come up and into the inverter, which from the DC produces AC, which is compatible with the grid. From the output of the inverter we come down through an isolating switch, and then we come into the switchboard, and we have a circuit breaker there. We'll just, thank you, we'll just put in here. And from this circuit breaker, the output of that circuit breaker here comes across to the bottom of the main switch and hence connects with the grid. so the system's ready to go. Incoming from the solar panels up to the inverter, which produces the alternating current from the direct current. Output of the inverter through an isolating switch, and then from the isolating switch back into the switchboard through a circuit breaker which protects the inverter, and from the circuit breaker it connects onto the bottom of the main supply coming in from the road. The process after we do the physical installation, that is put in the inverter and the solar panels, then we have to change the meter over, and so we work with PowerCore in that, and the meter that we have is an import-export meter, an electronic meter which will both record the ingoing and outgoing power. And then it's just a matter of switching the system on, checking that everything works, and getting the client out to watch the meter do its thing. Your inverter has a display on it so that you can read the power that's been produced for that day. You can read the power that's been produced since the unit's been commissioned, and you can read the power that's coming out instantaneously at that moment. And then after that, we complete the installation by arranging with PowerCore to switch over the meter. There's a lot of frustration with people with global warming in their inability to have a direct effect, and by installing a system, people are being given the power to be able to contribute and reduce their carbon footprint. It is definitely a positive step forward, yes.
Da-ba-da.